Lions fans! King, where you been at? Yeah, I know, right? Off season, vacation has not been fun. I miss football so much. Just hearing the things from mini camp and from OTAs just made it even worse. Well, I'm here. It's time to get this thing going. It is June 30th. Tomorrow is July 1st. It's go time. Training camp, end of the month. They put the schedule out for that. We got a lot to talk about. Let's get into it. All right, Lions fans. So, man, it feels so good to be back. Good Lord. I'm back early. Usually it's the second week of July, somewhere around there. I'm back early. I can't wait any longer. I'm sorry. Been sitting back watching all of my guys, man, talk Lions and try to keep us, like every year, right? I told you guys over the summer I wanted to focus on one or the other. I had to do that with the Pistons and NBA basketball. Unfortunately, it was just too much over the summer to do both. A lot going on, right? So, but I can't wait any longer. It's time. It's time. So, with that said, let's just go over overall, right? Mini camp, OTAs, all these great things that you're hearing. You're hearing things about Hendon Hooker having his ups and downs and camp, making some tough passes to J-Mo, making some tough catches, but dropping a couple of simple ones here and there. It's so much stuff. So many things that you've been hearing, right? Terrion Arnold's been an absolute stud. Been very sticky out there, picking off Jared Goff. Jared Goff has been getting picked off quite a bit, in these camps. But one thing that you have to understand is iron sharpens iron. Iron sharpens iron. I want to hear that Jared Goff is getting picked off. To be honest, I really do, because he's seeing some new players over there on the other side of that football, and these guys are creating an identity. These guys are showing what we went and got these guys to do. I want to hear about some picks, because if I'm hearing that he's shredding our defense, I got concerns. That's not how it's supposed to work, right? So at the end of the day, let's just get this out the way, right? There's no pads. There's no pads. And this is one of the other reasons why I usually wait into that training camp type of scenario, right? We do training camp every year. It's going to be fun this year, right? Again, they released the schedule. Here's the schedule. It's going to be fun, right? But for mini camp, for OTAs, guys in, guys out, some of the youth stepping up, especially on the offensive line, playing different positions, showing their versatility, showing such of a excellent job that Brad Holmes has done, creating that depth and that ability to be versatile out there. Hearing things about guys like Sione Vaki out there all over the place, from the usuals being the usuals, right? Amon-Ra St. Brown just being Amon-Ra St. Brown. It's been fun. And I just want to give a special shout out to the Detroit Lions podcast, man, especially Mr. Ritson over there. Him, Tim Twentyman, Dave Burkett, those have been my best friends. You know what I'm saying? Of course, to my guy, Doses Dion 2.0. This is where all the information is coming from. Lions Nation Unite with Mike over there. All the information has been put out there for camp. But I also go to those writers, man, every single year and get that detail, because guess what? They have an opportunity to be there. One day, hopefully us guys, me, Dion, Mike, all of us guys out here, we'll be considered media. And we can get some type of badge to get in there. Technically, we are media, Lions. But to get the illustration and the detail of those experience of them being there and what they've seen and giving us a full report on guys that we really want to hear about. Got to give a shout out to those guys, man. Let's look at a few of the rookies, right? Of course, we talked about Terrion Arnold, man. Been hearing a lot about him, picking off golf and everything else. Didn't really get an opportunity to hear much. Rake Straw is just not at that point yet, so I know we can't wait to, to hear about Rake Straw. But guys like, Vaki, man, and you hearing some of the offensive linemen that we've picked up, be able to step in and, fit right in with the guys, man. And, you look at some of the rankings with our offensive line, we in the top 3 in a lot of the rankings for offensive line, and some at the very top spot, which is a lot of respect for the Detroit Lions. So, but, also hearing about, Big Manu, still having a ways to go, and we knew that when we drafted him, right? We knew it was going to take a while for him to learn football, the technique side of football, the brute strength and the physical gifts automatically are there. This guy is a incredibly large human being, very powerful, but the technique, man, moving those feet, and using those hands, man, and just understanding the ins and outs and the nuances of being an offensive lineman, that's where he's at right now. It's a learning curve for him, and that's expected. You look at it, guys like Hendon Hooker, right, who's been up and down in these camps, been throwing some bullets out there, but at the same time missing a couple of simple passes. So that's just what you're going to see from a young quarterback. Sometimes overthinking, instead of just letting the football fly out of your hands, man, and just relaxing. But he did over time get better, which was definitely encouraging to hear. I cannot wait until preseason. Well, first of all, camp, so I can get my own view of what's going on. But yeah, camp and preseason is going to be super duper fun to watch the QBs out there. But Hendon Hooker is super talented. He's mentioned himself that he's comfortable where he's at. You know what I'm saying? So, with Jared Goff getting this new deal and him still being able to have time to develop and be ready, anything can happen out of anywhere. Quarterbacks get injured in this league. Freak accidents happen. Even though if it's not devastating or season ended, it could be for 1 or 2 games. You never know. So opportunity is always going to be around. You just have to be patient and wait for it. Even the greatest had to wait for it, Tom Brady. So I'm looking forward to seeing him in camp and preseason because, especially from what I heard from the Detroit Lions podcast, man, it's been up and down with him. J-Mo, the most polarizing player we got, right? It's just, whoo. We want so much success with J-Mo, man. And, for the second half of the season, he just really, really just shot up. You know what I'm saying? Shot up, man, and, started to catch everything. And, it's just the type of player that I believe J-Mo's going to be. He's going to catch passes. He's going to catch incredible passes. But sometimes he's going to drop passes. You remember we had a guy that wore number 81. His name was Calvin Johnson. Calvin Johnson dropped footballs. Ladies and gentlemen, he caught a lot of big game footballs. But he also dropped some too. Calvin Johnson dropped football. Sometimes he's just going to drop the football. That's just what it is, man. Still working on trying to catch everything with his hands, but sometimes still reliant on that chest catch. So, which is never really good in pads, coming from a player who played receiver. It's not fun. That ball bounce off your chest is the most infuriating thing in the world. So, but J-Mo's going to be J-Mo, and I think he's going to be, worlds better this season. With more of opportunity out there and a much bigger threat, I think he's going to be great out there. And I'm looking for the Detroit Lions receiving unit, period, to be much better out there. And it's also good to hear, you got guys coming like Ray's coming back from injury, right? With Khalif Raymond and being out there and still being fast and looking just as sharp. And some people say it looks even sharper. That's encouraging because I always said I wish he would get more of an opportunity because he's fast, man. He's fast and he catches the football. And the way our offense operates, I think he could be just fine out there. So give him a little bit more opportunities out there. Still possibilities we can add someone to that receiver core. Still possibilities out there. But that's just what it is for right now. So looking on the other side of the football, defense, right? One of the biggest additions, obviously, being Mr. Reader himself. Just hearing the influence that Reader's having on some of these young guys, you know what I'm saying? Especially guys like Onzarike, like Reader's literally studying his teammates and has things prepared for them on how they can get better. That's from a veteran. That's man. That's wildly encouraging. You know what I'm saying? And that speaks, you can't speak more of leadership than that, right? Man, I checked out your game. You know what I'm saying? Look at this. You can be a better football player if you look at these things, right? To hear the improvement with Onzarike, to hear the battles going on with James Houston and, some of the other young guys that we've acquired, it's been very encouraging because pass rush. And I think we're going to be fine in that department this year. We got a lot of options to throw at people. I know some redemption years on a couple of guys, mines, especially the problem child. And for him to have that competition that he's having, so far in these camps, training camps is also going to be very explosive for our defensive linemen. So, yeah. The excitement is still at an all-time high. The expectation is still at an all-time high. For us right now as fans, it's Super Bowl or bust. But when I'm being realistic for myself from a football mind, it's to get back to the playoffs and win another playoff game. That's where it's at for me because we have a different season coming this season. The target is us now. We're not the surprise team. We're not trying to go get it now. They're coming to get us now. So it's going to be a little bit tougher. I still think we're going to win the division, by the way. I hope that, guys like Caleb Williams, he keeps throwing so many interceptions that he gets pulled from practice. I hope that continues to happen. I hope Fingernail Paint continues to have a terrible time out there on the field. But the Green Bay Packers are obviously the team that we have to go mano a mano with for that division. And, they're, to me, when you look at the quarterback situation over there, they're not ready. You know what I'm saying? They're not ready. We did have a couple of issues when we played them and with Mullen, but we have a different defense this year. So that's going to change a lot. And facing some of the teams we have faced, to have an improvement like that in defense on paper, if that comes to fruition, man, we are going to be nasty. Very nasty. The offense is going to be the offense, but the defense, we can get that defense up here, man, it's going to be curtains. So, with that said, man, that's just the overall of what I've been hearing from camp. So many good things from these mini camps, these off-season training camps, man. I really, really am ready to get this thing going. So, with that being said, leave it in the comment section, man. Leave it in the comment section. Even though I've seen a lot of y'all comments, still leave them again. Leave it in the comment section, man. Let me know what you guys are excited for, what you want to see. going into training camp. If you plan on going to training camp, because if you are, I'm planning on seeing you this year. I tell y'all this every year, man. If you see me there, say what's up. But I will be there. And yeah, we definitely gonna get this thing rocking. We're gonna get it rocking. So yeah, with that said,